What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to High School Never Ends, a pop punk dad podcast. I'm Wingman Steve.
I'll tell you what's going on. I'm Chris 183.
That is going on, and what else is going on is that we are right in the middle of Victorious, our September ode to Victory Records, where each week we discuss an album spotlight, another different record from Victory Records. And this week, we are very humbled to have a first-time guest. No, wait, like a 10th-time guest. He just was itching to come on and talk to us and begged to come back. It's Dave Dross, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Dave.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you this fine evening?
Doing well. Dave, it's been like 6 years since you've been on the show. How does that feel?
Oh, it has. It's been a very long time, but it feels good. It's like it's like riding a unicycle. You never get it right, but you just keep trying.
To me, it feels like you never left. It feels like you've been on the show for every episode since the last one. So
I'm like the Andy Richter of High School Never Ends.
We just get these texts that say, like, I miss you. Let's talk. I miss us. Let's chat.
He's not kidding. That's actually mostly true.
If we had a studio, eventually we will, but if we had a studio to do this show, would you be Andy Richter? Could you be there in the background in a little window for every episode?
I would do as many episodes as I could, and then I would break off and start a spinoff with my own TV show on Fox that lasted a season.
Middle School Never Ends.
Yeah.
Speaking of the name of our show, we're here, and the album that we're going to talk about is Hawthorne Heights, If Only You Were Lonely. Forgot to mention that. They were on Victory Records. They're a fun band. We talked about them. We did an album spotlight on Silence in Black and White. Dave, you like Hawthorne Heights?
You know, I do, and it doesn't seem like a band that I would normally like, but I have liked them since probably like 2003, so shortly after they became a band. And there is something I do want to really talk about with this album, if I may throw that in really quick.
Is this the right time? You know, you've been on the show so many times. You know when the right timing is. If this is the right time, then do it.
I think it is the right time, and it's very important that the listeners acknowledge this, because some people that listen are going to understand, and other people are going to be very confused. The one thing that I really remember about this album was the TV spots. Do you remember when albums used to have TV spots? It wasn't like on the internet. It wasn't anything else. You were just like watching TV, and then there's like a commercial for a band.
The new Hawthorne Heights.
And I remember the music video clips that were in it, and they're like, Hawthorne Heights, new album, call 1-800 blah blah blah, and you can get a poster. And it's like, this album for some reason stands out as one of those things for me. I know there was a lot of those, but this hits the feels. When we talked about doing this album, I was like, I remember seeing this on TV, because you don't see that anymore. You never see like, oh, you know, whoever's releasing a new album on TV. It's just you scroll through Facebook or whatever, and there it is. And I really appreciated that. I think that was a cool thing to do, and it's a very nostalgic memory.
I don't think I remember that. Like now you're bringing back memories that I thought I probably erased in my head, but now it's like, and I don't remember this one, but I feel like I remember that now.
Yeah, because it was obviously they played Saying Sorry, and it was like a clip from the music video, and then just the album cover, and they talked about the release date and whatever like BS you could get if you called the phone number and sent your check or money order in to get the album. And it's like, I remember, you know, I wasn't 18 at the time, and I was like, how am I supposed to get this album? I'm gonna have to go all the way to Warehouse Records and go get it.
How many people actually do you think sent in money orders for CDs?
You know, with the success of now that's what I call music, I think a lot of people probably did.
I never got money orders. Like, it was always so complicated. Like, you had to go to like either the post office or the bank, and there's like different types of money orders. And then when you order one, you have to like fill in all this stuff. It just confused me. I think if I ever needed something, I would just like find the cash and give my father a check, or ask him to write a check and do it.
It was the much easier method. Because I remember being like, how come I can't just put $20 in an envelope and put a note that says, send me my album?
Because JT Woodruff would just take that money and keep it.
Addressed to Ohio. That's where you use it. Hawthorne Heights, Ohio. Stamp, $20, send me my album.
The other interesting thing is, Dave, you actually remind me of the lead singer of this band in some way, shape, or form. Do you see that too? Do you feel that way?
I in high school I got more of I looked like Pierre from Simple Plan than anything
Mhm.
else, and he's a very attractive gentleman, so I accepted that. But now that you're kind of bringing that up, I think I'm going to go look at some
Well,
photos of
did
him
you
on
ever
my phone.
wear for the listening audience? Dave is wearing glasses. Do you always wear glasses? Did you wear contacts? Because I don't think Pierre ever wore glasses, but that's kind of a signature JT look.
I didn't start wearing glasses until maybe 10 years ago. So I was just a two-eyed gentleman during the height of Hawthorne Heights.
Okay.
But yeah, looking at some photos of modern day, yeah, he is a pretty attractive gentleman. I'll take it. I can see
I
it.
feel like you need
Uh,
one of those like wintry hats. Those ones that are they're like a cap, but they're warmer. I feel like
yeah.
that's kind of and like a hoodie. I
Oh
maybe that's just
yeah.
what he was wearing last time I saw them.
The one thing he does have on me though is he has a very nice jawline.
Hmm.
He's a very beastly looking man.
Ugh, my nail
Mm.
beds suck.
I'm just looking at the picture that's on Spotify. That's all. I'm not looking at live pictures or anything like that. So I just think that maybe it's the glasses, maybe it's the hair, but I see the resemblance. So I'm going to go with that. That's what I'm going to go with.
I like it. I appreciate it. I'll take that compliment.
So,
Okay.
Dave, did you when this album came out? Obviously, it was hyped up on your television screen. It sounds like you could not get to a check or money order. Did
I
you
could
get to
not.
the record store to purchase this album? Did you download it illegally on the record?
I have always been an avid supporter of music, and I do actually remember getting my grandma to drive me to Target, and I bought the Target edition of the album and had it opened quickly after leaving the store. Very quickly.
Does the Target edition not have the explicit lyrics on it?
Oh no, it has all the shits and F's and H's.
Although I don't think there's that many on this record.
Is there
I
F's in
don't
this
think there
song?
is.
I
Like,
don't think there is.
if any.
They're
So
not
yeah,
very
Weird.
potty
has
mouthed.
all of them. No, yeah. See, that's why it doesn't seem like a band that I would listen to because there's no inappropriate humor. It's all sad.
So
Chris, what
you know,
what about you? Do you remember when this record came out? Did you
I
did you
do. I
peep
do.
it?
2006. I'll tell you what, like I was I was into this type of music in 2006 for sure, and this album I didn't buy it right away. I did have the previous couple Hawthorne Heights albums, but a friend of mine burned me a couple CDs, and it had some of the hits off of this album on it, so it compelled me to go buy it. And I listened to it like several times. Back then, I'm not sure it blew me away right away. I was into it because I was into Hawthorne Heights, but I can tell you that listening to it now, man, does this just kick in with the nostalgia. Like you can feel this album sounds like I'm in the mid 2000s, and to me that's awesome. Like I love that sound, and they do a really good job with that. And the other thing about Hawthorne Heights is, man, they sometimes it's just so emotional, so emo, right? Just yeah, that's a it's a stereotype or it's a cliche, but whew, man, okay, I could see like I was really never the emo kid or the emo guy. Nothing wrong with that, but I can see where those that would fall into those categories would really get into this because they definitely sing about emotional things and sad things on this album. So,
So kind of playing off what you said, re-listening to this album before us meeting today, one of the things I didn't appreciate at the time that I appreciate now, especially with where we are in our current technology, is when you listen to this album and you have a good pair of headphones on or you're in your car, you can hear that it's actually recorded in a studio from an amp and microphones because the drums sound like drums. It's not like your modern pop punk and emo where you can tell that there's so many effects on it and it's essentially fake and the guitars are not coming from a plug-in in the computer. Like you can really tell that it's a microphone up against an amp. There's microphones over the drums. They did a little bit of touch here, and it's a very real album. And I didn't appreciate that until I've been listening to it the last couple of weeks. I was like, it's really cool to hear that.
Yeah, let me think. I'm gonna go back and I was pretty much a fan of Hawthorne Heights, I guess, since their first album came out, since Silence of Black and White came out. I saw them a handful of times in like '04 and '05, and I liked Silence in Black and White a lot. We talked about that album like a long time ago though, so I don't know if anybody remembers. But here's the thing, like to me, Hawthorne Heights, the reason why like I like Hawthorne Heights is that this is basically like screamo for beginners, right? It's kind of cookie cutter screamo. It's like if you're not really into the screaming, it's quite melodic. It's got some of the hardcore and a little bit of screaming. It's not overly screamy. It's not all up in your face. So I think to me that was like the perfect recipe. And I in 2006. I actually worked at Best Buy, so I probably picked this up like the day that it came out, and it was in pretty heavy rotation. I liked Hawthorne Heights. I think to me that like 3 album run, Silence Black and White, If Only You Were Lonely, and then even Fragile Future. You know, band changed a little bit after this one, but that 3 album run is kind of quintessential Hawthorne Heights for me. I didn't follow as closely in the years after. Some of their newer stuff is very good, and I've listened to it, but some of that stuff in the 2010s to like 2020 lost it a little bit. And Hawthorne Heights as a band they're really smart. I mean, they play totally into the emo, the nostalgia, the we look like this in high school. They have merch that does that. They're putting on these Is for Lovers shows. They're very entrepreneurial. They're road warriors. They're all over the place. So like if you want to see Hawthorne Heights in 2024, they're like on the road like nonstop, which is pretty cool. But anyways, that was kind of my beginning with Hawthorne Heights and the album.
Have you seen this band live, by the way, either of you?
I have not. Unfortunately, I missed them at Warped Tour one year.
I checked my my concert archives, and I've got five Hawthorne Heights shows. 04, 2 and '05, 1 and '09, and one just last year. And it's funny, like the people that they tour with, at least the tours that I've seen, you can tell that we talked about Bayside the other week, and you could tell that these bands are like, so the first time I saw them, it was Mest, Hawthorne Heights, Bayside, and Punchline.
Nice.
That was at the Crowbar Chris in State College. The second time was Hawthorne Heights and Spitalfield, right? So we have our little Midwest emo there. I saw them on a Warped Tour. And then in '09, it was just Hawthorne Heights and Punchline in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And then last year, it was Hawthorne Heights, Spitalfield, and Armor for Sleep. So I guess if Hawthorne Heights is playing with Spitalfield or Punchline, I'm probably going to go see that show because put them together, and that's worth like the babysitting money and the whole 9 yards.
Who usually opens at those shows, by the way? Who's the opener?
You mean at like the most recent one?
Yeah.
So the one that I just saw last year, there may have been another. So I think Spitalfield, I'm not sure if there was 3 or 4 bands, but Spitalfield, I think, was first. And so Hawthorne Heights like put the show on, but they kind of acquiesced and they let Armor for Sleep close. So it was Spitalfield, Hawthorne Heights, Armor for Sleep. And again, being like concert promoters on top of artists, they do this all the time. They make these Is for Lovers festivals, and some of them, depending upon what the bill is, sometimes they're the headliner, sometimes they're like earlier in the day and they have like Yellowcard as the headliner. Like they seem to be very cognizant of where they fit on a bill, and sometimes maybe even just want to give their friends or somebody else the headline spot. I was surprised that Armor for Sleep closed because I never got into them, but they did have a lot of fans there, and it was a good show.
So I got to ask you, since you saw them in their early years, how do you compare their shows now to their shows then? And are they better now, or were they better then?
I would probably say that having seen Hawthorne Heights live last year, I was quite impressed with the way that they sounded and some of their banter, but I was not really impressed with their stage presence. Like they pretty much stayed in their spots and didn't move. It didn't put on, too much of a crazy show. I can't really tell you if I remember exactly what it was like in 2004 or 2005, right?
So no guitar spins.
I don't think I saw much of that. No.
Yikes.
I remember when I saw them in '09 in Punchline. It's a really small club there in Allentown. It's not even there anymore. And they played like the smaller room, not even the bigger room. And I just looked around and I was like, why aren't there more fucking people here? Like it was, I guess, kind of that time where I guess some of their attendance slowed a little bit. I don't know, but I was like, why are there less? Why are there so few people?
I have a theory on that. Kind of falling back on what you said earlier, where you said this is like the first step for screamo.
Screamo for beginners. Yep.
Yeah, because it's the right before these bands were getting big, and like right around that time in the early 2000s, you did have like your hardcore coming back, and then it lulled, and then it came back. I'd say probably 2005, 2006 is when that hardcore screamo movement started getting really big again. And I think the people that were probably listening to Hawthorne Heights like 2001 to 2005, they either evolved or devolved. They either went that more Midwest emo kind of feel and slowed themselves down, or they gauged their ears and pierced their nipples, and then they started going to hardcore shows and crowd killing, which I think put a lull for Hawthorne Heights, in my opinion, just based on, research and, being in a band and being part of the scene for a while,
Being an expert. Chris, did you pierce your nipples and gauge your ears?
No, I did neither of those things. I took my earring out that I had earrings.
I had.
So you were
too.
safe. You were smart. You went in the pit and took your piercings out.
I did. Who leaves them? Like, you can't leave those in when you go in the pit, can you?
Well,
I guess people do.
Yeah, my friend's brother went to a Pennywise concert and got both of his nipple rings pulled out.
Oh, that's like
So after that, he still wore them, but he put duct tape over both of his nipples. So there was some shirtless guy in the pit with duct tape over his nipples, like he was running a marathon.
Isn't that like you have to go to the hospital or something? Like, I feel like that's really bad.
He was on a lot of drugs at the time, so I doubt he did.
some crazy glue.
Those shouldn't be ripped in any way, shape, or form, right?
Some people are into it.
Kind of makes me hurt just thinking about it.
I mean, you could be into it, but it's still dangerous for health reasons, though. Right? You know what I mean?
He's a very successful businessman now. He's a better man for it.
I see. So that's the path to success, then, apparently, right?
Yep. Get your nipples pulled off, and you'll be successful.
Do you hear that,
so.
ladies and gentlemen out there? That's the way to go.
You
Talk
could
to
be a
Bill
success
Gates.
too.
Talk to Bill Gates.
So a couple of quick stats on the album. So it came out February 28th in 2006. It was their second album. Obviously, since it's on this victorious little thing we're doing, it was on Victory Records. It actually got to number 3 on the US Billboard 200, which is kind of surprising. I didn't realize that Hawthorne Heights would get that high. It was number 1 on the US Indie chart. It was produced by David Bendetti, if I wrote that right. And it was actually certified gold. So it sold 500,000 plus copies. And of course, this was the last album with Casey Calvert, who does if you look at it on Wikipedia, they're called unclean vocals. So that's the screaming. Last album with him, he passed away. It was very tragic. And so they went without a screamer person after that. And so these first 2 albums are really all the scream that you're going to get out of Hawthorne Heights.
Yep. Yeah, and actually, while we're on the subject of Hawthorne Heights lore and stats, you didn't get into stats a little bit, but I'll get into them now. Let's bring back a little game that we used to play with Spotify, and I want you guys to tell me what, and I'll give you a little bit of a cheat code. There were 3 songs off of this album that are in the top 5 most popular streaming wise for Spotify for Hawthorne Heights. Which 3 songs were they? And I think one's got to be pretty easy.
Saying Sorry.
Yep.
I'm not looking at Spotify. I'm looking at my list of songs. Light Sleeper. I remember that one being pretty popular back then, so I'm going to throw that in the ring.
And what's your number 3?
I know this one is probably wrong, but it's one that I enjoy. I'm going to go with December's, even though I don't think that's actually it, but I want it to be.
Steve, have you looked at Spotify?
I've looked at it, but I haven't I don't remember exactly. I have a different game that we can play. We'll do that later. We'll separate the games, but I would probably say Saying Sorry, This Is Who We Are, and We're So Last Year would be my guess.
Well, you guys are somewhat right. You're both wrong with all 3, though.
What?
So therefore, I win this game because you're both wrong. Saying Sorry was on there. It's actually number 2 with 26 million, almost 27 million streams. Number 4 is This Is Who We Are which Steve got 12,400,000 and some change streams. And then neither of you got this one at number 5. It's Pens and Needles at 9 million streams. And I get it. And the cool thing is number 1 is either Nikki FM or Ohio is for Lovers. And I want
Checks
you
out.
guys, what do you guys think is number 1? And think about it, because they're both pretty popular.
Oh, I just tried to fact check you, so I pulled up Spotify, so I can't play.
I'm going to go with Ohio is for Lovers just because that's what they're calling their shows. So I feel like people are listening to it to see if it's good, making it number 1.
Okay. Well, since Steve fact-checked me, which, what the hell?
Trust but verify.
There's no trust, obviously.
Yeah, sometimes Chris does this thing where he just looks at the top, the 5 that show up, but there's a thing that says see more, and they're not always in the right order. And
there's no see more. I'm looking at it. There's nothing that says that. It's not on here. There's no see more.
First of all, my name is not Seymour.
No.
Well, if you hit see more, it shows the top 10. I'm looking at the top 10 now. But
there's no fact checking the game. That means you automatically lose the next 2 times we do this because of that.
Okay. Well, I've caught you.
You're on auto lose. You lose a turn. You lost a turn,
Mr.
unfortunately.
Mr. 1 and 1.
Ohio is for Lovers is number 1 by a landslide at 121,474,144 streams. Wow. Nikki FM actually only has it's somewhere in the 20s. So
what do I win?
You win a brand new t-shirt, but not a Hawthorne Heights one, just a t-shirt.
Just a generic blank t-shirt with like some mustard stains on it.
Like a $3 Gildan t-shirt from Michaels.
Hey, those come in handy if you want to work out or work on your car. Who wouldn't want a Gildan t-shirt? So congratulations.
Not a sponsor.
No, it's not.
No,
Chris,
sorry.
I gave you a Gildan t-shirt.
It's a Gildan-like t-shirt. Yes.
No, the one I got you, I think, was Gildan.
Yeah, I like Gildan.
I made you that shirt, remember?
I just said who wouldn't want one.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not one to say no to a Gildan t-shirt. I'll tell you that much.
That's right.
I'll give you my address after we finish this. I want a t-shirt.
Well,
just gonna put it in the mail. Dave Dross, South Dakota. They'll find you.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm the only one.
Steve, let's just play your game because I know you want to play the game.
Oh, you want to play my game now?
Yeah,
I
let's
forget
just
what
do
it was. Okay, well, I guess it's somewhat similar. It's not the Spotify game. It's okay. The last time I saw Hawthorne Heights in 2023, it was kind of a co-headlining tour with Armor for Sleep. They played a 12-song set, and what I want to know is which songs from this record made it to the live show.
Go ahead, Dave. You get the honors on this one.
Saying sorry.
That's correct. Now Chris goes.
Oh, we're going back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I gotta feel like it's This Is Who We Are.
Yep. Dave, don't fuck this up.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna screw it up right now. Pens and Needles.
That's it. Oh, those are the 3 that they played. Pens and Needles
Oh.
opened the show. Saying sorry, and this is who we are a little bit later. I think This Is Who We Are actually was closer to the beginning. Saying
So does
sorry
Chris
in the middle.
does Chris get a t-shirt and then I get 2 t-shirts because I've won 2 games so far?
I
Now
think
you guys
so.
don't get shit. I got disqualified. You guys get nothing.
Damn it.
You disqualified yourself though. Like I didn't disqualify you.
You did.
Well,
You said
it
you
was
were
self-inflicted
disqualified.
though. It was self-inflicted.
Got to make sure
It
the facts
was-
are straight.
It was kind of like you stabbed yourself in the ear with pens and needles.
Wow, that was good. That was good.
Okay,
If
I
only
have
could
it.
have gotten to the first one.
We're gonna do a speed round. What were the 3 singles on this album? Steve, go. Pick one.
Saying
Without-
sorry.
Okay, Chris, go.
This Is Who We Are.
No, wrong. Steve, go.
Language lessons.
Nope.
Pens and needles.
Yes. And then there's one more left.
We were so last year.
No.
Saying sorry.
I was already said. One more. You get 4 seconds. Go.
Cross me
4.
off your list.
No. We're almost got the whole album.
I was just telling you to cross me off your list. I don't want to play this game anymore.
December's.
Nope.
I don't know.
I am on your side was the 3rd single.
Interesting. There wasn't a video for it or anything. It's
I
like
know,
a
right?
quote unquote single.
Yeah. Released on October 10th.
Like they
2006.
put it on their MySpace profile page and were like, you guys should really listen to this one.
Probably.
All right, guys, we should get into this album.
Yeah, that was
go.
good. We had 3 games, so we all did really well. Nobody won
fun.
my game though.
Hey, we had a lot of fun. I'm okay with that.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to High School
Dad
No
bods
Friends.
and rock hands.
Yeah,
See
yeah.
you.
Cut that. All right, this is who we are. Who wants to kick off who we are?
Okay, I'll go with it. So I think this is probably the perfect opener for this album because as soon as those guitars kick in, they say that time travel is not possible. But every time I listen to this song, I am back in 2006 every single time because it's just I don't want to say generic. It's the most familiar sound, I think, of the emo era of music in that time. Like, that's what you're hearing. And I mean, my opinion, I don't think it's the catchiest song on the album, but I absolutely love the singing and then the screams back and forth on it. And that really pushes that this is the mid 2000s emo music. And like I said, I don't think there could be a more perfect opener for this album, my opinion.
I'll just piggyback on that because I have most of the same stuff written down. What I said before mirrors exactly what Dave says. This feels like exactly when it came out. The nostalgia is real. I agree with you 1,000%. So when you listen to this song, I can just feel that time frame coming back, and I don't know. It makes me feel good. I don't know why. Like I must have really loved the mid 2000s. Imagine that I'm doing a show about it with the music and all that stuff. Well, early mid 2000s. Anyway, it gives you really that quintessential. If you've never heard Hawthorne Heights up to this point, it really does give you the snapshot of what they do. You get the unassuming, gentle whisper lyrics of JT as you kind of start the song, which definitely is something that he does a lot. And if you're into that, you're really going to be into this band because, again, that's his signature. That's one of the things he does the best is that delivery, and it mixes so well with the music. But then again, like what it also does is it doesn't just leave it at that. It kicks to a second gear at a certain point, especially when you get to that first chorus and then the second verse. It speeds it up. It gives it, he does deliver it in a similar way, but the music, the intensity, the energy, it gets a little bit higher. It doesn't go crazy, but it does get a little bit higher, and they add the screams in behind him. So I think, that kind of behind it, this was just in the chorus, but that kind of behind it really just amplifies the enjoyable factor of the song itself. So a lot of repeats in the song with the lyrics, but I never really bothered me. I think it works. And the one point in the song that I wanted to point out, it was around 2:25. So check that timestamp out. That the light guitar and the very soft lyrics followed by the screams. It's just so well done. I love that transition. And, it's like scream and then lyric by JT. It's back and forth. It goes back and forth. Love that, right? And they, again, not something unique. The Hawthorne Heights does that a lot, but they do it great on this song. And like Dave said, it's a great way to kick off the album. Steve.
It was really hard for me to put together notes about this album. And the reason is that there's kind of a formula. There's like, this is what Hawthorne Heights sounds like. This is who we are. And it all kind of fits that formula. It's more of the same of what I loved from Silence in Black and White. It's just kind of more of the same. You mentioned the soft whispers into the scream, into the loud singing, into the screams. The Hawthorne Heights formula is kind of tried and true at this point in time, and I feel like most of this album, you could kind of say almost the same thing about every song. There are some alterations, but another thing about this record is that this is not an album where I analyze the lyrics like at all. Basically, I don't think I've listened to this album tons of times. I don't think I know any of the lyrics except the pre-choruses and the choruses. This is an album of hooks. It's an album of vocal sounds, of music and hooks and choruses, big choruses. This song has exactly that. It has a good chorus. It has that mix of soft and hard, which is awesome. But just throwing it out there, some of these songs I didn't have that much detail to go into. Yeah, the screams sound good, the choruses are good, and I may just be repeating that over and over. But this is who they are, and it's good. I like it. It's that's just calling a spade, if you will. Hopefully that makes sense.
It makes sense. I don't know if I totally agree with this as an album of hooks, but I get it. It's your opinion. So that said, why don't you go ahead and kick off the next song then? You Are So Last Year, Steve. But
it's funny that the first song is called This Is Who We Are, and then the second one is We Are So Last Year. Like those kind of, I don't know, somewhat go together. So this one, what I noticed was there are very big changes in between the verses. They sound verse 1 to verse 2 very different, into this like pre-chorus, which is kind of dark, just sleep in, and then another killer chorus. So again, to me, a lot of these songs are about these killer choruses. To my earlier point, I know none of the lyrics outside from the choruses, so I read them along while I was listening this time, but they didn't necessarily jump out to me. Like it's kind of just like one of those albums where I put it in the car and rock out to and just kind of have fun listening to. But yeah, I like We Are So Last Year. I like it.
This is one of my favorite songs on the album. Not to spoil anything, but I think, in my opinion, this song has some of the best guitar work on the entire album. And I'm not talking about technicality wise, but the dirties, the cleans, the chords with the stops, and the clean guitars playing a melody underneath. It's so good. And I think this is probably, if not the one of the top most pop punk sounding songs on the album. Because I remember this one just hooking me, because at the time I was listening to a lot of like MXPX, Blink, Homegrown, Offspring, all that. And granted, this song is not very comparable to those, but I got a vibe from it. And it's feels, for Hawthorne Heights, it feels a little more upbeat to me. And it's funny saying that because I love the lyric in there. This dead letter written on black paper had never found her eyes. Instead of love, she only saw dollar signs. I just think that's such a good lyric to me. It's so simple, but there's so much emotion behind it. And then, other than probably saying sorry, I think this song probably has one of the best vocal melodies in it as well, because I'm not bored during the verses. I'm not bored during the chorus. I was hooked the entire song. And I remember one of the first times listening to it, like actually sitting down and listening to it, the song went by so fast. It was one of those songs where you're like, how is it over already? It's almost a 3-minute song. And it felt like it was a minute, because I'm just so involved when I listen to this song. Just me, my opinion.
Oh, this is about a relationship that ended last year. Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's some kind of troubled relationship, I would assume, and definitely very sad. Girl hurting somebody as usual with most of this kind of music, but talking about their situations getting worse and all that kind of stuff. Definitely some kind of love whoopsie.
It's not that like, the members of Hawthorne Heights continued to peg their jeans where pegging jeans wasn't popular. Like, it was cool in 2005, but not 2006.
Oh, yeah.
That's not what this is about.
I don't know. It might be. I think it definitely could be. There could be hidden meaning in there.
I'm thinking about that. I like the echoey guitar effects. Is that what you meant by dirty? What do you mean by dirty and clean?
So there's I don't know exact like time frame, but there's like a part where you have like a distorted guitar and there's a little bit of clean guitar underneath.
Okay.
And a lot on this album, it's either one or the other. You're either like getting kind of angsty because the guitars are heavy and they have that hardcore hitting kind of vibe, or you're like sitting there eating a pint of ice cream and wallowing in your sorrows with like the clean, emotional sounding guitars. And this one kind of does a really good job blending all of that together. Like you could be in any mood and listen to this song, and you could be like, "I'm sad. This song's really hitting the spot." Or you could be like, "I'm enjoying a drive right now through the desolate wasteland of South Dakota. This song is great."
But I mean, doesn't to me like, and I wrote down this is classic Hawthorne Heights. Like, don't they do this on a pretty consistent basis and do it well? Like they have that kind of sound, and that's I think that's one of the things they do the best. Don't you?
Oh
think
yeah,
so?
definitely. But for me, this one just it hits a little different. I don't know if it's like a different energy with this song, but it's just it has that more upbeat, like move around kind of vibe, which they're not usually too connected with. You don't go to a Hawthorne Heights concert and say, "Oh, I'm going to do a lot of jumping," like you would at a Sum 41 concert, or I'm going to go pit like I'm at a Pennywise concert or something. It's like you go to feel the music at a Hawthorne Heights show, I think.
What do you do there? Do you just like sway, or do you? Hopefully, there's no clapping.
Sing along. There's some clapping.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's some good
Cry.
crowd claps.
You
Cry.
Yeah, you
Right.
look
Emote.
next to you, and you look next to you and wonder where your significant other is. Then you just focus on the band.
You black your eyes. Is that what it is?
Oh yeah,
This song to me, like so that's interesting because I think it's classic Hawthorne Heights. I don't think it does anything that crazy, and that's okay. Like to me, that doesn't matter. Like I don't need Hawthorne Heights to do this like crazy creative stuff. I think that if they kind of stay true to who they are and their sound and put a little bit of spin on it here and there, it's exactly what I want from this band. And this is what you get in this song. For me, I thought this was just a great track, and it's just classic them. So I enjoyed it thoroughly. I did catch the upbeat tempo of it, and I did think it added to it. I understand how that contrasts against some of the other songs here. So I get what you're saying, Dave, but I was a fan of this one. And it definitely got a, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to give away stuff. So it got something, but I just won't say what it is.
noted. I feel you, dog.
Circles. All right. Language lessons, 5 words or less. I guess I'll kick this one off. This
Go
one,
ahead.
the intro a little bit different. Just has like the kind of that guitar riff into that hard drum intro. Dave, I would say if there's like a pop punk song, I would think maybe this one is the pop punk song. I don't know if you would disagree on that.
Oh, it's up there. It's I got it in my little notes, but it's definitely.
How are those notes going for you, by the way?
It's
okay?
So far so good.
Okay, you brought his notes this time.
Pretty good, yeah. For those listening, I don't usually do notes. I just listen to an album on repeat until it's boring, and then just express. But I tried doing notes this time, and I think it's going well. The teleprompter's working.
Is it on a computer? Is it on a Burger King bag or a piece of paper or what?
I'm not a big fan of Burger King, so I didn't get that bag this time. I have it on the computer this time. It's a little
Gotcha.
notepad on the side of the screen. I got 2 monitors. You know, you gotta be prepared for anything.
Fancy.
Anyways. I feel like Chris has 2 monitors too. He seems like a 2 monitor guy.
Yes, I have 2 monitors, but they're not. It's not the same thing. I'm sure it's an iPad and a monitor. So
Hey, like that counts.
What are you saying? I don't have 2 monitors.
You don't
I'm not
seem like a
cool?
2 monitor guy. Maybe at work, but not at home.
I got a second one. At Chris told me which one to get. He recommended one, and I said okay, and it worked out very well. So I have 2 now.
see,
I think I can see it in your glasses. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other one. There you go. Anyways, I really like the song. I think the chorus is fantastic. The harmonies here, the kind of the back and forth. I never said never said is fantastic. The drums really stick out on this one. Again, it's kind of that cookie cutter Hawthorne Heights song. Verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. A lot of these songs do that, but this one is super enjoyable. I think I know why it is there at that number 3 spot. You said that it was not a single. I think it maybe could have done well as a single. They didn't play this at that show I was at. I would have liked to hear it. But yeah, I like it. That's all I'll say. That's 5 words or less. I like it.
It's good. Chris, you or me?
I'll go this time because I don't have a ton to say. I thought the intro to this track was the standout feature that drew me in here. And I really spent a little bit more time taking a look at these lyrics in this song versus anything else. And I just wonder, like, you know, you think about something, you are my first dissection, spilling my insides, let's write our names with blood that's in our cheeks. Do you think that would work in if you were trying to ask somebody out in maybe high school or something? I don't know. Do you feel like that would work?
Dave knows all about insides and blood and stuff.
I do.
He's a smart dude.
I think that would work definitely in high school. I think in modern day, you'd probably have the cops come talk to you.
Yeah. I don't know what you're writing on. Where are you writing your name with the blood that's in your cheeks, though? Like on a paper?
And also, what cheeks are we talking about?
True. Sure, that could be anything. We just don't know. He doesn't specify. Other than that, I don't know. Like, so whisper softly and don't forget to tell me how you feel in 5 words or less. I think that's nice, right? That's pretty nice. That's a nice thing to say. I don't know. Like, it's a pretty straightforward song. Nothing else in terms of lyrics that really jumped out to me. I kind of just wanted to talk about that cheeks thing that I brought up. And
kind of seems like a saves the day type of lyric. Actually, I mean, Hawthorne Heights does it too.
Yeah, they do. Their chorus comes back several times here, and you liked the chorus, didn't you, Steve? You said
I like this chorus, yeah.
Yeah. So I could see where you really like the song. I don't know, nothing really else to say. Dave, what did you think?
So when I was talking earlier about how you can hear how this is recorded real with like mics in front of amps, the intro of this song is what really pushed that out for me in this album. Like I can close my eyes and imagine being in a studio or at a band sesh, and it sounds like I'm actually hearing an amp, and that's what really pulled me in with this song. And then the whole vibe, again, like it's probably the second most pop punk sounding songs on this album, and I think it's like in that first chorus. Because I'm not a big guy on breakdowns. I was never big on those. And I like how they start a decent breakdown, but then it goes into that like driving pop punk kind of beat and gets your energy back up. And particularly, I really like 1 minute and 34 seconds in the song when it's the flam on the drums and there's that catchy emo guitar riff. And when I first listens on it, I wanted it to go somewhere. I wanted the song to pick up, get big, and just drive me forward, and it does not do that. But surprisingly, I think they did it well because it has that pickup drive. And the best thing I can kind of compare it to is Prove It to the World by MXPX. There's a similar part where it does that, and then it goes into just more of like a driving part, and this one does not do it. But the slower part after that is just, it's so catchy and it's so good. And it's funny because in my notes I put 134 is such a yeah part because that's like the vibe I get. Like I'm getting ready to go pitting, but it doesn't take you there, and I'd usually be disappointed. But I was just like, this is really, really great. And then near the end of the song, they kind of start experimenting with a little bit more effects on their guitar. It's not just like a dirty guitar or a clean. There's some other kind of effect on there that's like really wobbly and cool. I should know this being a guitar player, but oh well. So I kind of like that they experiment a little bit more with it, and I think that is also what made me think more of it's more of a pop punk kind of song because a couple years before, that's when Blink started experimenting with that kind of stuff, and it was weird for a lot of people. And I like that Hawthorne Heights did it a little bit just to add that edge into this song and make it different and catchy.
Interesting. You know, we just little did you know too, and this goes with what you said though, but we added a new segment to this show, Dave, and it's called Dave's Music Minute. And what it is, it's a new segment that teaches the audience some things about music that they might not know. So for people out there that don't know what a breakdown is, can you teach them in your Music Minute what that is?
I can. So in most songs, you're gonna have like a do da do do da do 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 kind of a vibe, and it's gonna be like hitting a crash, like boom da doom doom da. And it slows down, a halftime feel if you're familiar with music terminology, and it's the headbanging part, if you will. That's probably the best way to explain it to people who aren't musically inclined. That's where you headbang. You're not running, you're not jumping, you're banging your head, and you're vibing with the music during a breakdown.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was our very first Dave's Music Minute, sponsored by Gildan.
Gildan,
Sponsored by pens.
And needles.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Pens and needles. I don't think I started one here, and so you guys threw me off, and that was a good segue. I blew it. So pens and needles. Why is this song called Pens and Needles? I don't know. I'm going to defer to you guys to tell me. But this song is just awesome. In my opinion, I've I've been so happy with this album so far, I'll tell you that much. And this just kind of supercharges that. It just, you talk about choruses, Steve. This has a super catchy chorus, in my opinion. One of the best on the album so far. I love the super awesome scream version of the chorus too. I'm always here for that. And it just enhances what I've already loved so far about this song. The mix up, so when they, I guess at the end with the chorus and the bridge, that might be that breakdown you're talking about. Not sure, but there's the chorus and then there's another bridge maybe leading into it. I love the way that sounds, and the song overall very steady, very enjoyable. Just overall, one of the ones that stood out to me on this track. And obviously, this one is heavily streamed, and one that they play. It may already be identified as a single right off this album, but I really liked it, no matter what, radio friendly or not. And I just thought it was one of my standouts. So, what did you guys think?
Good, Dave.
I do have a theory on why it's called Pens and Needles, if you want to hear that real quick.
I do.
Stick and poke tattoos.
What?
I think you get some needles and you get the ink out of the pen and you do a stick poke tattoo because you're in high school and you're sad and you're too afraid to...
Isn't that more of a jail thing?
Oh, no, that's a delinquent youth and jail thing. Same thing.
Isn't that like really super dangerous though? Like,
it's probably more dangerous than getting your nipples pulled off at a show.
I would think the pens just refers to like these are his tools. Like he can write the song. I don't really know what the needles are, but maybe it's just a kind of like a tongue in cheek things to put together.
It could be. I don't know. I like to think stick and poke. That's what
So
I'm
he says,
going with.
read the maps and signs. Maybe that's like a compass, the needle.
Oh, that's good. I like that. That's a good one.
I let people draw on my arms in high school with pens. For some reason, is that the same thing?
It could be. All you have to do is get a needle and poke it, and you'd have tattoos.
I guess I had tattoos then, Steve. There was no needles though.
Yeah,
no, just
tattoos.
pens. Just pens and tattoos.
Well, what did you guys tell me? What you thought about this song? I mean, come on.
I'm gonna go before Steve on this one, only because this song failed to catch me too much.
Oof.
But the thing that I did enjoy about it is, granted, it's almost the whole album, but this one was a standout. If it popped on the radio and I had not heard of Hawthorne Heights, but I grew up in the age I grew up in, I'd be like, this is a mid 2000s emo song for sure. Another thing that I just really enjoyed about this one, again, was they're experimenting with the guitars. There's a part where I don't have the timestamp, but you can switch between pickups on a guitar and make pauses in between if you strum the switch fast enough, and I could hear that in there. And again, I don't think this album, it might have been recorded on tape, it might have been digital, I don't know. But being able to get that sound at a good enough level for the song, like it's the music caught me on this one more than anything else. The melodies didn't really catch me too much, but the musicianship on it, I really enjoyed. Again, there's like those couple parts where it sounds like it's going to pick up and it doesn't, but this one didn't make me feel good. It made me feel like I was missing something on this one. So it's not one of my favorites, but musically, I do think it's very catchy and well planned and well structured.
Yeah, I like I think the title is fun. There's this like I wrote down a dinking guitar in the background. Dave, that's not a music, like kind of like that, like in the background. It's kind of driving. Yeah. That was super fun. The chorus to me is a little less memorable than some of the other ones. Sorry, Chris, I know that's kind of opposite of what you said. I like that the second and third times they do the chorus, They expand it, those 2 extra lines. They add the what is dream and what is real, the way I really feel. To me, I think this is a very good album track, but it's not like a standout when I listen.
Yeah. You know what?
And I like your dinking guitar. That's actually
Ding, 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 ding.
I like that because I know exactly what you're talking about.
I speak for the common man.
Yeah, and like
woman.
I don't know if you can tell, but you hear how there's like a little bit more of an echo to it, a little bit more roomy of a sound, and it sounds a little crunchier than it should. Like the best way I can explain it, think about the ending of Dumpweed by Blink-182. The dun, 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 dun. That sounds horrible. Absolutely god awful if you're playing that on an amp. It does not sound good at all. So there's a lot of production on that, even for 1999, which made it sound really good, messing with volume, all that. And then on this song, they did it right in the middle, which I think is how it should be done, because if they did it any less, that dinking guitar would be very annoying and it would clutter your ears because of the high notes that he's playing. But it's not overproduced, because I think if it was overproduced on this song, it would not fit because of just how real this album is produced to sound. Like, you feel like if you took the vocals out, you'd feel like you were at a concert. If you were just listening to this album instrumentally, it's like a perfect sounding concert. So I think they nailed that dinking guitar in this, because it doesn't hurt your ears. It's not drowned out in the song, but it's not so overproduced sounding to where you're like, well, this doesn't fit. How many times did they have to record this? And it has that good room and chunky sound just right.
I just don't know.
Right.
I just don't know why you guys got to treat me like some kind of jerk on this song. Like, I thought we had something going here, but
we were doing good.
We
were doing real good up until now.
You want us to say sorry?
Well, listen. If you would call me, I would take the phone off the hook and leave it off the hook. So then you would just get a busy signal.
Ooh.
Are you trying to write like Hawthorne Heights lyrics?
No, it's actually the cover of the album is a guy on the bed with a phone that's left off the hook.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Did you know
can't do
that
anymore?
Fun fact. What is it at the back of the album?
Dave's
it's the girl
fun facts.
laying on the bed. I think it's the back of the album. It was either that or a special edition, because there is. I don't have the physical CD, but I believe it's on the back. It's a girl doing the same thing with like a pink or red blanket or sheet and the phone off the hook. Because I remember there was 2, and I remember holding
They're
them
each
together.
lonely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have it handy. Steve, you don't have this, right? You got rid of it?
No, I don't have any CDs anymore.
That's right. I forgot.
Don't have it.
I'm going to have to jump on the
Alright.
Google machine on the phone so there's no typing sounds.
Yeah, go ahead, Dave, because I think it's your turn to start. You kind of kicked off the whole thing, and I think it's back to you.
Well, he's Googling. Maybe I'll start.
Go ahead.
He's doing some Google. Saying sorry. Okay, so this song to me is very frantic, like right from the start, but frantic in like a really good way. I like that they kind of wait a while before the unclean vocals come in, so you're kind of anticipating like where's it going to come? Where's it going to come? The pre-chorus and the chorus are just killer. Absolutely killer. Very, very sing-alongy. Obviously, this was their kind of lead song, their single. There's one gripe that I have with this song, and that's something that I wish it had. I feel like at the very end, the last time he says, "Make me feel like saying sorry," there needs to be a whoa. I want a whoa at the end. And every time I listen to this, I sing that either out loud or in my head because I want it to be there. And I think I sang it at the concert too. But yeah, big fan of saying sorry.
Why do you want that?
I just feel like there's like this key or like keyboard tone that for some reason it comes out a note and it just seems like a whoa deserves to be after it. I don't know why.
So here's how it's going to happen.
You don't hear it?
No. I don't like woes. And I know that every single person that's on our Discord is going to agree with you. And I know they will. But I'm going to take a stand against all of those individuals right now and say that I do not want that. And I'm happy that Hawthorne Heights didn't do it. I don't hate woes in every scenario. I'll be honest with
They
you.
don't do a lot of them. So one here would be quite effective.
But because I'm on the side of no woes, why do you have to take that away from me with how Hawthorne Heights? Why do you want to insert your woes into a band? That
Whether
doesn't
or
do
not
it?
you believe it, my opinions have nothing to do with what I think you're going to think. I just
That's
want the
not-
whoa-oh. Dave, do you want a whoa-oh at the end of saying sorry? Stop looking at the album on your phone. Pay attention to us.
I am, and now that you do mention it, I don't think there's any whoa-ohs on this album.
There needs to be one.
I know. I
think
feel
that-
good about that.
I think that it would be cool, like buried in the background in that last chorus. It could add that extra oomph to the ending. There is no woes on this album, huh?
I love it. I'm in heaven. There's no woes. There's no clapping. I love it. This is where I live. I live in this album.
This is my sad space, and I live here. So, there's apparently a version B of the album. I can't find if there's different tracks on it or what, but on Bandcamp there's an instrumental version of the album, which I will be listening to after this to see if it does have that concert feel. So version B, and apparently the instrumental have the girl on the cover. And the back of the album is the bed empty with the track listing. So it's extremely rare. If you have it, you can sell it for $600. Just kidding. It's $10 on Amazon. Brand new. So I hope somebody just turned off the podcast right there and went to go sell their copy. And now they're just pissed off.
Unless they sold it for $600.
Yeah, that's true. Then I'm going to feel like a jackass. So saying sorry is, I love this song because I can see that commercial again. And when JT's singing, I hope you guys remember this. He does that weird, like John Lennon bounce.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes, he
Like
does.
move, he bounces. Yeah.
Yeah. And he looks, to the untrained eye, he looks extremely uncomfortable. But the only thing that says he's not is how serious he's being with his face. But I see that, and I love the guitars in this song, and I know that's a huge factor in why it's a single. And the really well placed screams throughout this song, the little mini breakdowns, and like the breakdown with the scream in the middle definitely falls back to what you said originally, for sure. I think this song is the epitome of that, because I don't care who you are, when you hear that part, you get that like tingle in your shoulder, like yeah, they're singing, they're screaming, and it's a very good, like he just drank some orange juice kind of phlegmy scream, and it's just so like aggressive for such a emotional song. And it's one of my favorites. I hate to be that guy that says it, but it's their biggest single off the album, and it just reminds me of that commercial. It reminds me of walking around my Walkman in high school with what was that feature that you could push on your Walkman to keep it from skipping. I can't remember what it was. It was like jog,
Anti-skip mode.
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, and I just remember walking around with my wired headphones and listening to this song on repeat, because this is the song that got me into the album. I learned it. I loved it. That's the first time, I believe, that I ever tried to do screaming, and I stopped after that because it was so incredibly hard. And this song really made you appreciate Casey, I think, because it was such a well-structured song. And I remember how bummed I was when he died, because he was such a good screamer, and just overall a good song. I could go on forever about it, probably. I feel like Chris is going to be like,
Chris?
worst song on the album.
No, I love this song.
Take it off.
This is a favorite of mine too. It's the song that sold me on this. It was like, okay, what are you doing not buying this album, you jerk? Like, just go out and buy it. Stop it. So definitely the opposite of what you said. This is just the total package of Hawthorne Heights for me. It's kind of like a Lunchable, how that has everything that you like, right? And all in one package.
Just
Do you
to
have a Lunchable?
I still eat them now once in a while, and I don't even have kids. I'll just put on a ski mask and a big jacket, and I go buy one Lunchable at the self-checkout so nobody judges me.
Yeah.
But The
They're
pre-chorus.
definitely judging you.
No, certainly not. They
Wearing
can't
a
judge you.
ski mask and a giant jacket. Checking
Well, I
out
do-
Lunchable.
I do
bet
it in
you
the
look
win-
really scary in the self-checkout camera.
I do it in the wintertime when it's normal.
Oh,
Do
I
you
thought were
still
saying-
eat? Do you eat the Lunchable with the ski mask on though?
Sometimes the cheese getting stuck around the mouth hole is kind of awkward, but you learn to stretch it out a little
Do
bit.
people actually ski in ski masks? Anyway, I always wanted to know that.
I don't think so. I think it's just Russian terrorists and bank robbers that wear them.
Why do they call them ski masks then?
It's like their intent. It's like when you buy a tobacco pipe and like a bong and it says for tobacco use only.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's a tobacco pipe. Yeah, whatever. But I forgot to add, I think the pre-chorus is my favorite in this song. She keeps repeating all that she needed with that drum roll.
Yes.
Because this pre-chorus into the chorus takes you to that upbeat that you feel like you're missing on some of the other songs. Like this song stays pretty consistent with its upbeatness and that pre-chorus. If you listen to the album in order up to this song, you're almost anticipating it to not go anywhere, but it just pushes you right into that chorus. So this song that's why I love it so much. It's just a drive. You're constantly going through it the whole time. You're never let down. You're never bored. It's ever changing, but simply structured.
Yeah, for sure. And that camera you installed in this room that I'm in right now that zooms right in on my notes came in handy there because that's exactly what I have written down. So
Yes.
Good for you. Good for you to go to all that trouble just to be able to take that from me.
I also apologize for stealing your flame. I had to just jump in and steal it while I could
I
see
don't have
it.
anything else. Yeah, that was actually my time to talk, Dave. So,
Dave had it all of his time. Then it was your time, and then you chimed back in to steal what you wanted to say.
And you got your own segment. So I mean, I see how it is, but
So now you're just dead in the water.
I really don't have it. I already said my piece. Then I don't know what else there is to say. You guys definitely said it all. This is just a great song. So let's kind of move on. I think we don't need to beat a dead horse here, but
Yep.
speaking of dead, dead in the water. Dead in the Water is the next song. I will start. This is definitely a darker sound to me, and I love that. Gotta love it, right? So, is he talking about vampires here? I guess that's my question to you, and you can answer that in a second after I give my analysis on some other things. I think overall it's a solid song, front to back. My favorite part, though, is kind of the last minute or so with the screaming or the growling, we like to call it sometimes. And just another great bridge. And so at the end, it goes into that really cool bridge. And then the supercharged chorus, again, kind of like, mirroring the earlier chorus, but just like with a ton more oomph to it. That's my favorite part of the song. But back to my question, is he talking about a female vampire here?
I don't really think so. I think everything is kind of metaphor for like relationship. I feel like that's kind of JT's MO.
With a vampire.
Relationship with a vampire.
I think it could actually go either way, just by the way the lyrics go. That she's in my bloodstream tonight. She's draining me.
Yeah.
Darkness drying up my veins. It's like it's pretty vampire-y sounding.
I think that's the metaphor, though. I don't think he's talking about vampires. I think he's using the vampire as a metaphor of someone who's draining him, and you want them close, but they're scared.
I follow as she leads into the darkness, drying up my veins. She's a ghost, a silhouette, calling out my name. That's all vampire stuff, dude. That's what they do.
And then there's that line that says, "When we stand in front of the mirror, you're just not there." No, it doesn't say that. I had to do that to make Steve think he was so wrong.
I knew that.
Close the door, lock it tight, then I'll know you're safe tonight. Of course you're going to lock your vampire girlfriend up because you don't want like Van Helsing to get into your house and do away with her. So, I mean,
I just kind of take him as more of like a serious person. Like he's not actually writing a song about a vampire. He's relating a person
serious.
to a vampire.
The minute you turn your back or you don't treat a vampire serious is the minute that something bad happens.
Guess I can't disagree with you there. in terms of the song, I would say this one to me has more of like a metally kind of riff to it, and the song itself feels to me kind of like a story. Like there are different sentiments, like there's different like vibes to each section of this song, and the song is structured a little differently. It kind of goes 1 2 3 1 2 3, scream 2 2 3, and like I don't know what you call. There's definitely a pre-chorus and a chorus in there, but I like the scream reprise, if you will. This one is really good. This one is super enjoyable, and I found it to be a little bit different than that kind of typical Hawthorne Heights singly, like saying sorry or 5 words or less or something like that. I like this one a lot.
Cool.
So this song, I get a little bit of an Alkaline Trio influence because the lyrics are your blend of Hawthorne Heights lyrics, but there's something that says Alkaline Trio to me. And then listening to it again in these last couple weeks, the beginning kind of sounds like a heavier, more emo version of You're Not Alone by Homegrown a lot. And I made me curious if they were influenced by them, because this came out after that album did. And I absolutely love the 2:35 mark when the song just gets super heavy. Like you can hear the shaking of the bass strings, the guitars are heavy, and it's such a well done heavy part. And I think this song encompasses a lot of that trend that people went on. They either went from being in like a pop punk band to a hardcore band, or vice versa, and during that time frame. And I think this song is a really good blend of both of those genres, because this one is a pretty pop punk sounding, but it also has those really cool hardcore elements. And despite that hardcore element, the super soft vocals in the verse, they work so well. And I would kind of, I'm probably gonna get some flack for this, but I would kind of put this song in the like Misfits Alkaline Trio kind of like horror punk feel as far as genre goes, because whether it's a metaphor for a vampire or he's actually singing about a vampire, it fits really well into that subgenre of like punk rock, that horror punk kind of feel. And I think that makes it really cool, because I'm pretty sure these guys were probably influenced by the Misfits, like most people were or are in punk bands, whether they want to admit it or not. There's somebody that's influenced by them, and I just get that. I get that vibe. It's that horror punk, hardcore, pop punk, emo, catchy guitars, and that 2 minute and 35 second mark where the song just it's like you just want to rip your sleeves off and just get angry.
My sleeves are still on.
I want to listen to more horror punk. I've heard that before.
Yeah, you should give it a go. It's pretty solid.
I think that's a good. You guys gave good analysis there, and I do agree with the horror punk because of the vampires.
It's okay. I'm totally on your side. I am on your side with that.
Yeah. You hear that, Steve?
Yeah, I heard it. Very good. Nice.
I'll start this one because I don't have a lot to say about this one. It's not that I don't like it.
Wait, that was a good segue. You were on my side. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Way to miss.
I didn't miss.
Keep going. He was going.
Yeah. I was going right into it.
Oh, okay.
Intro, so pop punk sounding. Like if you were just listening to this band for the first time nowadays and you were a huge pop punk fan, I think that's what would really, really catch you. But the only thing that kind of bums me out is right after that, like, hell yeah, like, open the pit up. This is a like pop punk show. The song just drops and I kind of lose my energy. But the feeling in the verses really, like, they catch me, because it takes you from that, like, let's jump around and be pop punk, to I'm going to stand here in the pit and black my eyes and be sad. And the like flanging sound on the guitar, that wiggly sound for the non-musically inclined, is it's a nice touch with the dinky guitar in the background with that. It's really, really good. And I think that if somebody said, what is 2000s emo? I would present them this song and say, listen to this one. And this is going to tell you all you need to know, all the feelings you need. And depending on which part of the song you like the most, will lead you to a fork of other songs to listen to on this album or other bands, especially because the chorus, it feels ballady to me. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it has that super just ballad kind of feel. As he's yelling, the guitars are big. It's like a mid-tempo kind of feeling drums, and you're just like, hell yeah, let's pull out our lighters and perm our hair.
Yeah, turn on. Yeah, instead of cut my wrists and black my eyes, it's pull out your lighter and perm your hair.
Yeah,
is that part 2 to that song?
It could be if you're into 80s ballads.
Uh-huh. Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
I was gonna say sometimes like the verse here, at least in the beginning, it has this like really soft delivery, and then sometimes like with this album or with this band, I completely forget the song outside of the chorus. Like again, I've got a lot of history with this record. Maybe it's because it's like right here in the middle, and it's I wouldn't go as actually. I'll go that far. I'll say that the album is top heavy. I think the first half is better than the second half, but this is one of those songs where I like kind of forget it outside of the chorus. So maybe I'm not in the pit with my lighter singing along to this one. I think it's a fine track, but it's just not memorable. And the long drawn out ending is pretty unnecessary. Like it doesn't even like feed into the next song. Like there's an extra like, I don't know, 30 seconds in the song that doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. So not one of my favorites.
Definitely a lighter tone on this one though. Like in terms of the meaning behind the lyrics, it's not upbeat by any stretch of the imagination, but it's positive in a lot of ways versus just like bleakness and sadness and everything else that you might find in other songs. So that was interesting for sure. But for me, like it was the effects, it was the vocals. This was the first half of why I really like this track. The effect on JT's voice, the vocals. I feel like there's some sort of effect, mic effect that they're using on his voice there. Maybe it's just my ears aren't working so well, but it definitely, whatever it is, sounded great. And this is the other thing is, and I don't know how to really describe this. I was trying to write it out. I put rhythmic chunking of the way that the way that he was singing here, where it's kind of like phrase, beat. It's always like a chunk of lyrics and then pause, not for very long, maybe like a minute second, but it's the pattern. And you notice this in other Hawthorne Heights songs too. And for all I know, maybe some other pop punk bands do the same thing, and it's not anything that uncommon. But I really liked it here. And I really, I especially liked it when they started to add the guitar into that quote unquote beat in between those lyrical chunks. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, listen to the song again, and I think you'll hear it. I don't have a timestamp, and that guitar on that beat is not through the whole song. I believe it's just maybe in a bridge area one time or twice, but it definitely was something that caught my ear, and I thought it sounded really cool. And then the only other thing is that a tea kettle at the end of the song? I just hear like a big whistle. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it is a tea kettle and it just made it. I'm not sure. But
they were making tea in the studio and it was ready.
He seems like a guy that would. JT seems like a guy that would enjoy a good tea. Doesn't he seem like that?
I think they have their own coffee. I think JT has a coffee shop in Ohio.
They do? They have. Can you buy it somewhere?
I think so, yeah. Look it up.
I want to buy Hawthorne Heights coffee.
Coffee is for lovers.
What if I took the coffee and blacked my eyes with it?
You should. You could definitely get like a retweet from that for that.
Cross my heart and black my coffee.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I don't have a segue here, but the next song is Breathing in Sequence. So, I think that same lyrical cadence applies here again. It's funny how it's back to back because I heard it in the last song and I was like, oh, he's doing it again here. I think the song has some really cool guitar solos. Maybe that was what kind of stuck out to me, but Other than that, it was just a Hawthorne Heights song. So I don't know if I pulled anything else out of here that was noteworthy, other than I really thoroughly enjoyed the guitar work here, especially the solos, which may be unique to the song for sure on this album. But other than that, nothing really else. What did you guys think about this song?
I only really liked the second verse. That was the only thing I liked. The pre-chorus is kind of meh. The chorus, eh. The guitar work, thumbs up. I agree. The guitar work on the song is very good. The song construction, meh. Kind of like verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, chorus, end. This one didn't do a whole lot for me.
See, I'm the odd man out now. I feel embarrassed.
Speak your truth.
I will speak my truth. I will start off with a negative about it that I originally felt. I think this song, the way that the melodies are and the lyrics are, I think it should have been a little bit more of an upbeat kind of song. That was my initial kind of feeling, and there was something about it that made me keep listening to it over and over again in these last couple of weeks. And it was a grower, not a shower, and which that's good. And the lyrics are fantastic. I don't know how to put it, but I like that the verses, vocal wise, are strutty. That's kind of like how I felt about it. It was like I kind of felt like he was just kind of skipping, strutting along while singing it. And I think the verses are probably one of my favorite parts about this song. And those super high guitars underneath, they keep the energy going in the verses for me. And somewhere around the 2-minute mark, it's probably what you guys are referring to as the guitar solos. And there's like that chunk chunk, and then there's like a low guitar and a high guitar, and the drums are pretty driving under it. And I was like, okay, this is pretty solid. And then that last chunk of the song, I ended up getting what I wanted the whole song. And I think that's what made me it grew on me a little bit, because the last part is a good pickup. Like I was like, this is the energy that I originally thought the whole song needed, but I think that pickup in the end is actually perfectly placed. I think if the whole song had that upbeat kind of feel, it wouldn't be as good. And I think that was a really good way to end it. And just throughout the song, I love that the guitars are like hit, stop, hit, stop. And there's that little, like I said, that high guitar just keeping that momentum going. And this song really grew on me. And I was almost going to put this in probably one of my favorite songs on the album, but it did not make that cut. I will put that spoiler. The song is not going to be one of my favorites, but it was a very close contender. Give it another chance, guys. When you're going to bed, put this song on repeat 4 times, and then we'll catch up.
I'm gonna do it. I really want to like this song, and I don't dislike it. I just didn't have a lot to say about it. I think that to me it just sounded too samey, and I'm not being negative. It just sounded too samey. I didn't have anything to really say. But again, you're looking at it from a little bit different of a lens. From a guy that plays music, you pick up some things maybe that I don't, and I think it was well put. But now that you said those things, I am going to take another listen to it, and maybe I'll take it differently.
I hope so.
Yeah, for sure. I'm open. Yeah, I'm easy to work with here. Just ask Steve.
So easy.
So
he's like a light sleeper. That's how easy he is.
I'm actually not a light sleeper at all. You can someone broke a solo cup over my head, and I didn't move one time.
Wow.
You know what I mean by that? Like
the cup.
So basically, put the cup on the back of my head, and then went boom, and just like hit the bottom of it, and it kind of splits, and I did not wake up.
That's impressive.
I sleep hard.
It's scary.
That's the way I have to do it.
Well, what do you think about the song Light Sleeper?
Am I doing it's floatier than usual to start. This song has a very floaty start to it. It's a different sound. Is this a different singer? Is it a different guy singing on this track? It somehow doesn't quite sound like JT for a little bit.
He sings this one a little differently, because there's something that does stand out about this song a little bit, and I think he's just doing some kind of technique when he's singing this one because it does. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't really sound like him, but it does. But it doesn't.
Yeah, right. It's kind of like what do you call it? Just that uncanny valley of it. It's weird. Your brain's like, whoa, like it's. I want it to be him, but it doesn't seem like it is. I like it though. I think the song is really interesting. It's definitely a little bit more of a pop song in my opinion. So this kind of delves more like I know that it's funny, Dave. You've been bringing up the fact that a lot of these songs to you are pop punk. So I was just going to make the comment before that the amount of songs that you identified as pop punk on the song, I think you're convinced that this is probably more of a pop punk album because there were a lot of them that you said that for.
I did. I did. I'm going to own that. I will do it.
And I don't mean that this necessarily sounds pop punk. I just think it's so melodic. It definitely is edging on the side of pop. It's not a pop song per se, but it edges on the side of it. Almost like a very radio friendly song. And I know this wasn't one that did hit the radio as far as I know, but I think it, melodically it was catchy for me and it held my attention. I don't know. Like I thought it was a really, really fine song, a fun song. And I like that different take on the lyrical sound, we'll say, or the effect or whatever it was. I thought that was a cool kind of departure from Hawthorne Heights because I thought this one was a little bit different.
I think you looked at my notes a little bit. I think your camera is working in the back because I kind of had a similar kind of vibe with it. But I will say I think this song would have been better without the first 25 seconds because it kind of gets you in that, oh, this is going to be a slow, sad emo song. But then when the song picks up, it doesn't really go back to that until the end. So I think if it went back to that kind of vibe more often through the song, it would have made sense. But my perfect version of the song, that first like 25 seconds, it would be gone. And I definitely do not say this in a disrespectful way to this song at all. This song is a generic cookie cutter song. And I think that's a good thing because you stay involved. It's not too crazy throughout the entire song. And I remember in high school, I think this was my favorite song on the album for a while. And now that like 15 years has passed, it's not at all, but similar to you, it's a good song. Like the only complaint I have is that first 25 seconds, very generic cookie cuttered song, and it keeps me interested the whole time. It's catchy, but there's nothing that stands out. And I think that I think they could have done a little bit more of that on this album because the songs aren't overly busy on this album, but they're not boring. But there's always some kind of cool guitar hook or, some kind of cool scream vocal, like dueling going on. And the dueling in this song, there's a part, I think it's about a minute in, there's a palm muting guitar, and I think it's in the left or the right speaker, and then another one comes in, and it's a quick build. It's like dun 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 dun, and then dun 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 dun, and it just gets bigger for a second, but not too big, and it just puts you right back into that cookie cutter drivingness of the song. And simplicity is key. Some of the most famous songs in the world are simple and very easy, and I think this song needs a little bit more credit. But again, it's nothing spectacular, but I do enjoy it because of the simplicity of it. And I think they should have experimented with that a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for me, like 7 and 8 on this album were not like all my favorites. And I think that this song here, number 9, is quite the redemption for them. And I would like disagree about that first 25-second thing because it's kind of reminiscent to me of like Ohio Is for Lovers. If you think about like how Ohio Is for Lovers starts and ends with that, like it does that, and you're not mad at that one. Like you like that one. I feel like it's kind of similar to that. This one just starts on that lighter vibe, sleep, sleep, little darling, and then they don't do that at all. The song picks up, and then they throw it in there at the end. So I feel like maybe it's cookie cutter, maybe they're trying to redo something like that, but that's where it That's where I kind of thought about it, but I like the lighter vibe. There's like a flangey guitar in the beginning. I don't know what that word means, but it's what came to my head. And it's got a real good chorus. And the we fall. That scream part is pretty rocking. So I'm a fan of Light Sleeper. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now that song just looked at us and it was like, cross me off your list.
Yes.
It's time to go to the next one.
Yeah, you know what's
It is
funny,
time.
and I'll bring this up real quick. So MySpace is like big in 2006, right? I think so. Am I in the right time frame?
Yeah,
2006 MySpace.
Yep.
And a lot of people, maybe like the year before that, there, and it wasn't an away message. It was like, couldn't you put like a quote at the top of your MySpace page or something? And I remember seeing a ton of, Shine On Diamond Eyes, and that was from a song off of their first album. Maybe that was the name of it. But do you think that if I took a quote from Light Sleeper, it would have hit the same? That being, when you fall asleep tonight, they'll be waiting for you. If I put that as my MySpace quote at the top, would that work? Just the same?
I think it would.
Yeah. You think it would have the same
Trying to be the
effect?
MySpace creeper.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just lyrics from a song that I happen to like.
Right. But that would give you the persona of a creeper.
Is there a MySpace creeper?
I mean, you pretty much just described it as you putting those
Why? Because I like a song?
Because you're putting those lyrics to describe yourself.
All right. Talk about your next song.
What, crossed me off your list?
Mm-hmm.
You starting or am I starting? I have a short. My list is short for this one.
Go for it.
I think Light Sleeper, cross me off your list, and the final song, I think it's leading to the end of the album because you notice a significant change in the cadence of the album when you get to these last three songs. The simplicity kind of builds a little bit. You're hearing more acoustics, especially in this song. I think this is like the one where you kind of notice it the most. There's a lot more acoustic in this song, and the energy is dropping. And it took me a while to enjoy this song because I don't like where it goes. The intro, it's the opposite of, I can't remember which song it was already, but it's the opposite. The song starts hard and then it lulls. And it was the last song. They need to get rid of the intro of this one and not get me excited. And the choruses, it's weird because I really enjoy the lyrics and I like the melody, like the rhyming. Like, can you see this or wear it on your wrist? Is it everything you wanted? The mark you always missed. I think it's a very simplistic rhyme and it's really good, but the choruses are missing something for me. But at the same time, I enjoy them. But the song it's lacking something or they're doing too much. So they needed to either keep it a little bit more mellow or they needed to put some balls in the chorus and make them a little bit heavier and then drop back down because I feel like I'm anticipating during this whole song, waiting for something to happen. And I don't quite get it. But at the same time, like I said, I love the chorus, but I just wish there was a little bit more. And maybe that's where a modern production would help it. Those kind of artificial sounding drums, the cleaner, more produced sounding guitars, I think it would make it a little heavier with his clean vocals. And I think it would sound really good. And then I didn't even think of it until I just said it. I think some background woes, ohs, or ahs would really help push these choruses up a little bit. And that's kind of where I'm at with the song. I don't hate it by any means. I love those choruses, but I just feel like I'm on a treadmill. I'm not getting anywhere with it.
Yeah, I can't really disagree. I mean, you said it comes roaring in with these rolling drums and this guitar, and then the vocals hit like real light, and the chorus is okay. Outside of the chorus, I don't really remember the song all that much. This is one of those that kind of is an album track that you listen to. It's not bad. It's not skipping, but it's not one that I'm going to, go skip to or anything either. I'm not going to cross it off the list, but I'm not that excited about it.
I don't have any notes on this one. I couldn't think of what to say at all.
And so it's the going. We all agree
This album's
essentially.
kinda hard.
Yeah, it's because it's not bad, but it doesn't take you anywhere. There's nothing really memorable about it, but it's not a bad song, and then you almost feel bad not being able to give good criticism on it. But not bad. But I think it seems like we're all in agreement on this one. It's just there's not much to say about it. It's not great. Nothing stands out, but it's not terrible, and nothing really per se ruins it, except for that intro that doesn't take you anywhere.
Most albums have that song, though. I think most albums are going to have one or two of these songs that fall into that category.
Is the next song some of the same where I can stab myself in the ears? Because like my note was that I don't have too much to say about that one.
I don't think so.
Do you know the fun fact about this song?
Go for it.
So they got the name of this song because when there was a post on Absolute Punk about the announcement of them recording an album, and somebody posted on that forum, "Where can I stab myself in the ears?"
Oh, nice.
So it's kind of like
I've heard that.
Yeah, so it's kind of like when one of the fans of MXPX told them that they weren't as good anymore and they were slowly going the way of the buffalo, and they named the album that. And I think the fact that that Hawthorne Heights was like, "Oh, this guy really hates our music, but that's a really cool name for an emo song. Let's use it." I bet you that guy's pissed. Trying to insult these guys, and now they're making money off my insult.
It wasn't you. Was it you? Did you put that?
No, I wish I could take the credit for that.
Okay. Well, I would be very surprised if it was you, because you're very complimentary of this band, so that wouldn't make any sense. You could have been a different person back then. I don't know.
I was angrier back then. I was actually very judgmental of music that I didn't like back then, and would like make fun of people and talk shit about bands they liked. It was a good time.
What band didn't you like? I mean, like Ace of Base. Was that a band you liked? That was a few years before that. So.
Yeah, that was a few before that. Like I didn't like Glassjaw back then, and I would talk shit about Glassjaw to people that wore the Glassjaw shirts.
Okay.
And I did not like hardcore music. I talked a lot of shit about hardcore bands and almost got in fights with people because I had my mohawk and my cut off camo pants, and I was like, "You guys and your stupid tight jeans and your straight edge X's on your hands. You're a pussy."
I wear tight jeans even today.
Oh yeah, they're great. The older I got, I was like, "Oh, yeah, they look nice."
No, mine just don't fit anymore, and they're just tight.
Damn.
Unfortunately, Steve, that you shouldn't smirk at that. That's not nice.
I'm not saying anything.
So, I actually like this track a lot. I gave this one 2 stars
out of 10.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So, I can't divulge I can't divulge that, but tons of energy on this one, guys. And it's the melody for me is what sells it. It just has a really great melody. I don't know why he keeps talking about forgetting about these lungs. Like, the lyrics are puzzling to us. I know it's metaphorical, but I don't even know what metaphor that is. But I don't care because I sing along to it, and it still like makes me happy to do it. So the icing on the cake here is just the awesome scream section, and there's a guitar going into that part that is super notable to me too. So I think maybe that section was what really just solidified the fact that I like this track. But overall, again, the melody just took it for me. I thought this was a fun one. I was able to sing along. I was able to enjoy the music, and even though I was confused by the lyrics, I was still okay with me. So what did you guys think about this one? You said you didn't have very much, right?
Well, you cut me off. I didn't have that much to say about it, but I think that I think the chorus is just too wordy, and the song to me just didn't really have like a cadence. Like, I didn't feel like I could find the melody that much, and the recipe behind it was kind of the same as most of the other songs. That's kind of it.
This song was what some of the previous songs needed to be for me, because all the parts where you think it's going to pick up, it picks up. And I love the parts in this song where there is on clean and clean vocals and they're singing simultaneously. It keeps that energy going. And I think we're probably talking about the same part, Chris, in that heavier part that's like middle end of the song where it's really heavy, because most of the songs on this album, the heavier parts don't last very long. And that's what's good about this album, is there's something for everybody on it, because if you are like, I don't like heavy parts, they don't usually last very long on this album. There's some songs without heavier parts. But if you were that person that was a little bit more into the hardcore scene, but you weren't quite there yet, this song is really good, because I believe this song has that longer, heavy breakdown part in the end where there's a lot of screaming. You know, the guitars are real heavy, and it lasts, and you can really get into it. And then when you think it's going to end, basing your assumptions off the rest of the album, it keeps going. And I love that. I think it's really great. And I think it's really cool with the guitar that starts in the beginning. You go through this adventure through the whole song where there's a lot of pickup, there's a lot of driving energy, you get that long breakdown. There's a lot of ringing guitars in this song that it keeps the momentum going throughout the whole thing. And then as the song rings out, it takes you right back in a circle to the beginning with that clean guitar riff playing. And the song is an adventure. This is, I think if more songs were written similar to this on the album, there would be a lot more hits on it, because this song, it carried me the entire way through. There was never a part where I was bored. There was never a part where I said there needs to be more, there needs to be less. And I think the lyrics are really well written. The melody is great in it. And I love that there's a lot of clean guitar in the beginning and end. You get your heavy guitar, and I know I'm beating the dead horse, but the natural sound on the drums in this, there's a tom part in the middle, and you can hear the bounce of the toms. You can feel the bass of it. It doesn't sound fake. And it's like I said, it's like I'm standing behind the drummer at the show when I hear the toms in this song. And I was just like, very well written song. And I would probably give it a 4 out of 5. Because it's just an all around really good song, and I quite enjoyed it.
Nice.
Forget these lungs, they're jealousy.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the end of the album with the last track, December. Guys, is this a Christmas song?
It's a sad Christmas song without being too focused on Christmas, I think. It's a time of sadness when you realize you don't have family, or you don't have friends, or you don't have a lover.
Yikes. Well, I guess I could see that. Okay. Well, then I don't think that was an answer to my question, but
it kind of was.
All right, we can get back to that, but look, this song's super dreamy, just like smooth like peanut butter. And it's an emo ballad. To me, like, it's just very emotional. It's a ballad. It feels like it could be a montage song. I use it a lot on this show, but it does. It feels like it could definitely be a montage on a show, like a drama of some kind. And maybe a show in 2006. I don't remember what was on in 2006, to be honest with you. I don't remember what dramas were on in 2006. I know The Office was on in 2006, but there were no montages that I can remember. This was a very long song, and maybe that was by design, or maybe they had this written and said, "Hey, the best place for this is at the end of the album," because that's usually where maybe they put experimental stuff. I don't know. I've heard that before, but I didn't mind this one. I thought it was fine. I mean, it was longer than the usual Hawthorne Heights song, but I thought they did a good job with the slower pace ballad. You know, it wasn't necessarily screamy at all. It was just what it was. Again, very smooth, very well delivered. Just a decent ballad to kind of end the album. I don't think it ended things on a high note. I don't think that it got me energized to want to listen to this again, but it has its place. So I wasn't mad at it. What'd you guys think?
I think Steve should take this one. I think I want to go last on this one.
Oh,
if
okay.
Steve's okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a totally different, like, Hawthorne Heights song. This is, like you said, it's an emo ballad. To me, When I used to listen to this record back in the day, I must not have gotten all the way through it because I didn't remember this song as much as I think I should have. And I think that I like these types of ballads, again, more than my memory serves for me. I mean, what it really harkens back to is it sounds a little Jimmy Eat Worldy. And I think that Hawthorne Heights doing a Jimmy Eat Worldy song as the last track on their album, it kind of fits and it's kind of nice. And I think I need to let this one grow more because I really enjoyed listening through it these times around. There's some piano in the intro. Again, stuff that you don't hear. So when a band does something a little different, I will probably be interested in it. So I really like this as a final track to the album.
So this song was probably my most listened to on this album shortly after it came out. I love this song. I absolutely love this song. It's and that's kind of like what I was getting at with the 3 songs before this. It's kind of leading you up to this song because you're hearing a little bit more of that, a little bit cleaner guitars. You're hearing that more acoustic. There's a little bit more lull in the song. So for me, it wasn't too surprising when it got to this song on the album. And not to like put out my inner emo from like high school, but like whenever I was down, this song really hit the feels. Like it brought you down even deeper. And it sounds bad, but I think that's what you need sometimes. You need a song to, if you're
to match your mood.
Yeah, you need something to kind of like help you just be like, oh, yes. And this song, I don't know if it was intended, but I feel like there's a big story behind this song. And I think that's why I really like it. Because like when I personally write songs, like you couldn't, like if you called me and said, hey, can you write a song about like a guy and a girl that fell in love at a movie theater? I couldn't do it. I write probably 95% from personal life experiences. Like if you look at any of the lyrics I write, there was something happening in my life at that time when I wrote that song. And that's the vibe I got with this song when I first heard it. I was like, there's something behind this. The lyrics are just, they seem natural. They don't seem planned. I feel like when the song was written, it was a sit down, get a pen, and it came out. And that addition of the piano in there, you know, the slides on the guitars. There's a couple parts where all the instruments stop except for like the piano. And it's just so good. And I usually am not a fan of long songs, but there's nothing that pulls you away during the song. I mean, slowing it down anywhere would be pretty much being silent. There's no pickup, and you're constantly wondering through the song, like, what's going to happen? Is it going to go anywhere? This is Hawthorne Heights. Like, is it going to pick up? Is the scream going to come? And it brings you down nice and slow. It's a parachute to the album. It doesn't abruptly end you somewhere. It floats you down, and I can't even count how many times the word alone is said in it. And I don't remember what made me like realize that, but it doesn't ruin the song for me. And in my opinion, this is a great way to end the album. And I feel in contrast to the first song, to where it's like, this is mid 2000s emo music. And then it takes you on this adventure through the entire album, heaviness, sadness, and then slows you down. And then your parachute opens with this song. And you're just like, cool. This song used to be on my sleep playlist.
Like putting you to sleep?
Yeah, I used to have a sleep playlist that was like, it was this song and like some Angels and Airwaves, and I think there was some MXPX on there, and I would fall asleep to that playlist every night for like years, and this song was on it. And despite probably hearing it hundreds and hundreds of times during sleep, I've never bored of this song. I've never gotten tired of it. It's on my liked songs playlist, and I probably hear it 4 or 5 times a week. And I might get some flack. I think this is one of the better songs on this album.
It's fair.
End rant.
End album.
Yes.
End of the album. And yes, if I make you a Christmas mix, I'm going to include this in it. I will.
Good.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to the Spotify playlist for for Dave.
I think I'll also include December by Collective Soul. So I'll put.
How
those
about
two
December
songs
by
on.
Neck Deep?
That too. That's a good song.
Ooh.
That's a great song.
Oh yeah.
Tons of Christmas music. I love it. I love
December's
it. Guys,
Here by Newfound Glory.
well, it is almost December now.
I think that's a good hint to people that maybe there should be a pop punk Christmas episode in November.
I like that. As long as I can pick the songs.
Me too.
Steve, you in or out?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Doing an episode in November for pop punk / punk rock Christmas songs and the best ones you should listen to with your family for the holiday season.
Haven't we done that already?
Kind
I
of.
think we did.
Yeah, but you didn't hit all of them.
I think we did one Christmas pop punk album. That's what we did.
We did, but what we also did before is a segment that we like to call Ranking It, and we're going to do that again.
Oh, good.
So we can do anything again, but what we're going to do right now is we're going to rank our favorite tracks off of this album, our top 3, and in order, 3, 2, 1, from the album, If Only You Were Lonely. Dave, you're our guest, so you get to go first. What are your top 3 tracks in order, 3, 2, 1?
Number 3 has to be Saying Sorry. I'm sorry that I have to put that on the top 3 list, but that's what helped me get into this album. And my number 2 is going to be We Are So Last Year. Like I said, I think it's some of the best guitar work on the album. It has that pop punk feel. I really enjoy it. And probably not surprisingly, December's is going to be my number 1 on this album, just because of everything I said about it. Great song. Don't roast me in the comments.
I invite roasting. So if you don't want it, they can throw it my way. I'll go next, and then Steve, you can take us home. So I had a hard time with this because I had a bunch of songs that had stars on them. I guess that's a mark of a good album. But I'm gonna go number 3. Where Can I Stab Myself in the Ear? Really enjoyed that one. But not quite top 2. I'm gonna say Saying Sorry is number 2. It would have been number 1 for a lot of reasons, but I ended up really liking This Is Who We Are a little bit better on this playthrough of the album. I'd say, like, back in 06 and the early days, that was not the case. But for some reason, this song grew on me a little bit more. And it edged out, a really, really solid song in Saying Sorry. So that's my number 1 is This Is Who We Are. Steve.
Yeah, kind of a combination. Actually, closer to Dave's list now that I'm looking at it. I think for number 3, I have to go We Are So Last Year. I'm not sorry about it. It's a single. Number 2 is Saying Sorry. It's fucking awesome. Nobody's roasting anybody. Hawthorne Heights fans, non-Hawthorne Heights fans, I think everybody probably likes that song. Not everybody, but if you like this genre, you probably like that song. And not on any of your guys' lists, but my favorite song on the album is Language Lessons, 5 Words or Less. I think that one is just one that I sing along to and I look forward to every time I hear the album. So I give that my number 1. And that's that.
I had a feeling that song was going to be on your list by the way you so eloquently spoke about it.
Was I
during
eloquent?
our review.
Awesome.
Yes.
Put that in the comments and smoke it.
Yeah.
David, this is your 100th time on the podcast. Thank you so much for joining us on Victorious. We were not discussing a Nickelodeon show. We are discussing Victory Records albums. Tell the folks where they can follow you and all the things that you're up to.
Definitely go follow No Advisory on Spotify, Facebook, Instagram. We've been in a lull the last 2 years, but we are in the process of writing a new album. I think I personally have about 6 or 7 songs done. So it's just about getting in the studio. So give us a follow, get caught up, look forward to something new. We got some new stickers out. I'll have to mail you guys some of our new stickers that we have and some new t-shirts that are going to be coming in. But
cool.
Yeah, get excited, everyone. And as always, thank you guys so much for having me on again. Thank you for not getting tired of me and rejecting me every time I say, hey, I think this would be a cool episode to do, or hey, you're doing an episode on this. I think I'm the guy for the job. Thanks for letting me be the Andy,
buddy.
Thanks for letting me be the Andy Richter for you guys.
always welcome. And I'll tell you what, if anybody gives you any flack, they better be very, very specific as to why. That is a call to action for those people that want to give you flack, because I think that you did a fantastic job as per usual. So looking forward to the next time you can join us for an episode to talk about pop punk music or adjacent music to that point. So thank you again, Dave, for being on the show, and thank you all out there for listening to the show. We appreciate each and every one of you that takes the time to listen to our show on a week-to-week basis, or maybe just one or two. It doesn't matter, but we want to know what you think about the show. It helps us get better. It helps us come up with ideas for new shows. So hit us up on all the socials. Go to www.hsnepod.com. That's going to link you to all of our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and my favorite, Discord. That's where you can join the conversation with a bunch of not only just fans of the show, but fans of pop punk music. Talk about what's out there today. Talk about the shows. Just talk about music in general. Check it out.
That's right. 2 ways that you can help support the show. Number one, if you go to hsnepod.com, you'll find our shop. Hit that up, buy a mug, buy a t-shirt, buy a hoodie, buy a hat. You can help support the show and the Dragon Wagon Independent Podcast Network. If you are strapped up for some cash, you can do the free thing and just give us a 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple. And if you're feeling wordy and eloquent, write us a review on Apple Podcasts or write something about the episode on Spotify and tell us what you thought. By my calendar count, we have 1 more week left of Victorious. Which album will we cover? Well, you'll have to tune in next week for an all-new episode. Until then, keep on rocking your dad bods, throw up your rock hands, and blast the pop punk.
Hi there. My name is Steven Sable. I'm a theater producer, director, and actor of the stage who truly loves the works of William Shakespeare. We all know the writer and his legendary stories and sonnets and poems. A writer who took risks, exposed truths, and placed a mirror to the world and culture of his era. But who was Shakespeare the man? Wasn't that long ago that I discovered the answer to that question isn't as clear as I had always been told. Was he the grain dealer with a name that kind of sounds like Shakespeare, who never bothered to teach his own children to read? Or was the Shakespeare name itself a pseudonym used to protect the identity of a secret nobleman riding for the crown? Join me as I explore literary history's greatest mystery on my podcast, Don't Quill the Messenger. It's a part of Dragon Wagon Radio. You can find it now at don'tquillthepodcast.com and all available podcast platforms.
It's Dragon Wagon.